Hello and welcome to another episode of Woman Unwrapped. This week we will be discussing forgiveness. Is this something that you struggle with? I know I certainly do. But before we delve deeper, let us find out exactly what is forgiveness.
Wrapped up in mystery, priceless through history, a woman unwrapped.
So girls, I'm throwing out the question, what does forgiveness look like to you?
Well, for me, I see forgiveness as an act of releasing someone out of the box that you've put them in. It's like caging someone.
That's a wicked thing.
And then
Putting them in a
you
cage.
you release them, allow them to go. I'm not holding that against you anymore.
Well, for me, it's I feel that I decide that I'm going to get rid of, release the feelings and the anger or any animosity that I've had towards a person. I want it out of my heart and my head, for that matter. And that's what it is for me.
And I think for me, it's the intentional decision to forgive someone. I have to think about it through a process, whatever that might be, which we probably will talk about later. But for me, it's intentional. I have to say, you know what? I've got to release this and go for it and just forgive that person. So I have to seriously think about it. Conscious effort.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's more sort of like just moving on and finding that inner peace within you, because you can just become so consumed with bitterness, can't you, towards the situation or that person. And it's a healing journey, it's a healing process, almost, you know.
Yeah, I mean, for me, how do I see it? Well, someone's done you a wrong and they've hurt you bad, and you have, like Barbara was saying, making that intentional decision to say, you know what, I forgive you, but it depends what it is as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Actually, because a minor forgiveness could be, your husband's gone in the fridge and taken that last yogurt that you were so looking forward to eating that evening, and, they've gone and taken it, and you're like, oh, that's an easy thing to forgive.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then there are more harder things, I guess, that you have to forgive. So my next question would be, before we go into the different types of forgiveness, is have any of you ever experienced having to forgive someone?
Yeah, I have. I got extremely hurt through my walk of life when I was a lot younger. But there's this saying, isn't there? You can forgive,
But not forget.
You have to really sort of seriously look at that saying, because, can you forgive without forgetting and forget without forgiving? So it's just something for me, I had to, because you wake up in the morning and it's on your head. You go to bed and it's on your head, and it's that horrible feeling. And most of all, it's your health, definitely your health, because it's that feeling of, you see that person, or you hear their name, or you
get so consumed by it all.
So and then you've had your heart ripped out, or whatever how you've been hurt, and you've got to heal.
Absolutely.
You've got to have time to heal.
I had an experience where I had somebody in my heart that they had really, really hurt me. And it was years ago, and they'd hurt me, and time had elapsed, but I hadn't let go of the feelings that I had. But then I was at a funeral, and I saw this person in real distress, and there was nobody around at that moment when that person was standing there to actually comfort them, and I was the only person who was able to do that at that time.
Yeah.
And I thought I needed it. It touched my heart, because they were in such distress and such pain, and I wanted to go over and hug them, and that's what I did. And at that moment, just before I went over, I had to actually consciously forgive them, because it would have gone right against my core value to go and hug them and comfort them with having that animosity and that pain in my heart. And actually, I just decided I have to forgive them.
Yeah.
I let it totally go. And then I was able to genuinely comfort them.
Lovely.
I wanted to ask this then. So because we are talking about what is forgiveness, right? So Sarah mentioned bitterness. That's one characteristic of unforgiveness. What are some of the other things that come with, you've got a bitterness? what are some of the
Anger,
other
You keep
anger?
resentment. You don't want to talk to the person.
Hostility,
Yeah.
sadness. There's a whole host of things.
Absolutely.
Emotional,
Yeah.
retribution.
Yes.
You know, you want revenge. You want
Yeah,
to get back at
that's
them.
right.
You don't want to talk to the person ever. You
or,
keep
or a
malice.
corporate or a
Yeah.
corporate company.
It could be an
because
organisation,
an
yeah,
organisation. About a year and a half ago, I was made redundant, and I was so bitter. I was angry. I was so resentful towards this organisation.
human nature, isn't it, to be like
you
that?
know, it wasn't their fault. I mean, I just didn't make it through to the you know, I wasn't successful enough to make it through. But it took such a long time, and those feelings just make you feel very sick. They're not nice feelings.
they're not.
And I had to come to the conclusion, well, you know what, I can't live like this. It got to the point where all these emotions, these negative vibes had gotten to me so bad that it was actually affecting my well-being.
Your health, probably.
Yes, my mental health, because I thought I was actually going to lose the plot.
Yeah.
Because I was so consumed with feeling these horrible feelings towards this company that didn't even know I was going.
Yeah.
You know,
And they're
they're
on their
happy
way.
getting on with their work and everything else, and I'm at home thinking, oh, woe me. But then I had to come to that intentional, what Barbara said, decision to say, you know what, I've got to snap out of this.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I'm allowing myself to be consumed by all these negative thoughts. And so, of course, I had to pray about it. Very hard. At first, I couldn't even pray.
Is that what made the difference?
Absolutely. That's what made the difference. I had to ask God to help me through this. And I think at first, because you're so consumed with it, you forget to say, hold on, I'm on my back here, and God really wants me to look up and seek help from him. And I probably didn't during those times because it was quite a dark place.
Low, yes.
But,
Bottom, aren't you, almost?
Absolutely. And this is the point of what is forgiveness. And we have to let go.
Yeah,
Because
we have to let go.
otherwise we will allow all these things to consume
Negative
us.
thoughts to
Are there
consume
any positive? Because on the flip side of not being able to forgive, there's also when we do forgive, some people find it quite easy to forgive. Is there anyone here who want to share?
Well, I mean, when I was younger, it was harder to forgive than now that I'm a grown-up woman and more matured as a Christian. You know, because I decided to put things in perspective. I'm not perfect. I also hurt other people. And so how does it make me feel if I know that they're holding me in my, in the box, in a cage, and they're not letting go of what I've done wrong to them? So I kind of learned how to process it in my mind, even without necessarily going to the person to say, you did hurt me, because as we have said, you're feeling bad, you're resentful, you're angry, and then you're holding on to so many things. You don't even want to see the person. You hold so much against the person. So you've got to get to that stage where you decide that this isn't good for me. I need to just let go.
Yeah. I've got a definition, actually, which I thought was really good. And the psychologists, they all get together and discuss these things. And they've defined forgiveness as a conscious, deliberate decision to release feelings of resentment or vengeance toward a person or a group, in your case, your corporate, that has harmed you, regardless of whether they actually deserve your forgiveness. Yes? So forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, nor does it mean condoning or excusing the offence. So it is a deliberate, conscious effort to release those feelings of anger, resentment,
Bitterness.
Now, it's easy for us. Oh, well, I can forgive, but it depends on what it is someone's done to you. Fortunately enough, we've not had to experience a loss of a member of a family.
No.
And recently we had the terrorist attack in Westminster, where
The US tourist?
the US tourist and the family of this US tourist by what the newspaper said, showed nothing but forgiveness towards the attacker. And for me, that would be so hard to...
Yeah, but I just think the level, like you said, the level of it, it's just something, if my daughter got raped, come on, would you be able to forgive that rapist? Is it the level, you know, like you said, the level, it's just something, or my son got stabbed, God forbid, you know, it's just...
Yeah, it's difficult.
So some things are harder to forgive
Yeah,
than
I mean,
others.
Absolutely.
and talking
It's
about a
not-
stabbing, we all know Mark Prince, and his son was stabbed outside of school. And he's someone who you'd look, I admire Mark. He's amazing. But he showed forgiveness.
Yeah, he did.
In fact, you know, the story goes is that in the courtroom, he could have easily jumped over the fence and taken that chap and done something to him.
I just think that
admiration.
the level of it, like you say, your husband taking the yogurt out the fridge, you know, you can forgive. But until we're in that situation, we can never, ever, ever answer it, can we? We can just assume or think we would have to, because we've just spoken about health and what it does to us. But you know, for me, I think it would take a longer time if somebody got raped that I knew, or somebody stabbed. You know, but we're all different, we're all individuals, and
We are, and we're all Christians.
Yes,
People often struggle with, they feel that they have a right not to forgive a person. It's like, well, this is so bad.
Yeah.
I have a right not to forgive.
He needs to rot in prison,
Yes.
and he
Yeah.
should have a
Throw away
life
the key.
sentence. That's right.
bring back hanging.
Yeah, that's it. And some people do have that. But, you know, as Christians, we know that that can't be the case for us. And I struggle with that sometimes.
Many Christians
We do.
struggle with
Well, we do.
unforgiveness.
Yeah.
We know it's something that is required of us. Yeah, God expects us
Yeah.
to do, but
And we're
people
under
struggle
pressure.
with
Yeah,
forgiveness.
that's
Christians
right.
struggle with forgiveness.
And you've got to remember as well that person is marrying on their happy little way, where you're...
Yeah, that's
deciding.
right. Okay, so thank you guys for sharing your views. Thank you for watching. We'd like to know what you thought about what forgiveness is. So please leave your comments below. Join us on Sunday, where we will be looking at the effects of not being able to forgive. So see you then.